What's going on, guys? My name's Patrick Bacon and you're watching the one and only Bacon's Drinks channel here on YouTube. And today we're sticking with tiki and we're actually going to be doing one of my original creations called the Rainforest Grog. The genesis of this idea actually came from my caipirinha video, and if you guys haven't checked that out, I will be sure to link it at the end of this video. And when I was doing the tasting notes on the caipirinha in that video, which once again the caipirinha is a drink made of lime juice, cachaça, and sugar, I said that it tasted tropical, but not in a beachy way, but in a rainforest way. And in that moment I kind of had a revelation. I was thinking, I'm going to try to make a drink that tastes like the rainforest. Or of course, at least like the rainforest taste in my head, right? So the Rainforest Grog was born. I set out to make a drink that was balanced, but instead of using the traditional Demerara and Jamaican rums that most tiki cocktails used, I decided to go with an all cachaça and rum agricole base. And once again, I wanted this drink to taste like the rainforest. So I wanted it to be very, grassy, agricole funk forward. So that's why I have this carefully curated cachaça and rum base. Now, I'm gonna get more into this spirit base later in the video when I actually start to make the pours, but for now, basically this is a Navy Grog spec. To be specific, this is the original Donn The Beach Navy Grog spec, and I just simply added Donn Spices No.2 to give it a little more of a tropical, tiki spice kick. And of course, once again, I subbed out his spirit base with my own. And one last thing, guys, we'll be mixing our drink in this incredible Hamilton Beach spindle mixer. I'm choosing to do this today because we're gonna be pairing seltzer water with honey, and there's nothing that can froth those ingredients and really express those ingredients like a spindle mixer. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into making the cocktail. All right, guys, we're gonna start with the drink mixer tin from the Hamilton Beach mixer. And then we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. Always use fresh squeezed juices, guys. It makes all the difference in the world. And then we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. I'm using Ruby Red today. All right. And this is where I differ from Donn's original recipe. We're gonna be doing a full 1/2 ounce of Donn Spices No.2. All right. And remember, guys, I always put my recipes in the description, including any one-off ingredients that I have. So I actually have my own special Donn Spices No.2 mix, so be sure to check out the description to make sure that you make this drink correctly. All right, guys, then we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of 2-to-1 clover honey syrup, which is my favorite type of honey syrup to use in tiki cocktails. All right. And then finally, we get to our spirit base. So first, we're gonna do 1 full ounce of Rum JM V.O, which is one of my favorite agricole rums, at least to date. All right. So I chose this rum because it's a perfect medium between a long-aged agricole and an unaged. It still retains a lot of its grassy notes while adding some age, richness, and complexity to the drink. All right, guys, next we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of barrel-aged cachaça. I'm using Novo Fogo today. All right, there we go. So I chose Novo Fogo barrel-aged cachaça for this cocktail because it's been aged 2 years. Regular unaged cachaça was just too punchy. I tried it, I workshopped it multiple times, and it was just too strong. This barrel-aged cachaça was the perfect medium. It's only aged for 2 years longer than an unaged, so it's still got a heavy, grassy, agricole-like component to it, but that 2 extra years of aging really helps round out those harsh notes and once again, add some further complexity to the drink. All right, guys, and last but not least, we're gonna be doing one of my favorite rums of all time, Dennison's Merchant Reserve 8. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of this. All right, perfect. So I chose Dennison's Merchant Reserve 8 for this cocktail because not only is it one of my favorite rums, it is actually a very unique rum because of its blend. It is actually 80% Jamaican rum and 20% rum agricole, which of course the agricole notes really fits into our rainforest theme. Bacon adds some further complexity to the drink. And when I think of, tropical drinks, I always think of a nice Jamaican rum, and I love Jamaican funk. And this adds the perfect amount without overwhelming the rest of the ingredients. All right, guys, and last but not least, real quick, we're gonna add 3/4 of an ounce of seltzer water. I'm just using the generic Kroger brand. And once again, that's going to just kind of lengthen the cocktail just a little bit, and it's going to really aerate the honey when we blend it. All right, guys, that's it for the body of the cocktail. Let's go ahead and get to adding our ice. And all right, guys, since we're gonna be flash blending today, which is a lot different than shaking, we're actually gonna add 3 heaping scoops of Sonic Pebble Ice to the tin. All right, that should be good. So we're gonna go ahead and hook this up to our Hamilton Beach spindle mixer. I'm gonna flash blend for 5 seconds. For you guys that don't know what that is, basically we're gonna turn this blender up to its highest setting, and we're gonna pull it back down again. Turn it up to its highest setting and pull it back down again. It's like a start and stop type of thing, and we're gonna do that for 5 seconds. All right, and then we're going to get our double old-fashioned glass ready, and then we're going to go ahead and roll all the ingredients of the tin straight into the glass. And look at that foam. There is really nothing that can get that foam like a Hamilton Beach spindle mixer. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fill it the rest of the way up with Pebble Ice. All right, so we got a nice scoop there. Really bring down that temperature. Make sure your Pebble Ice is super cold if you buy it from Sonic or anywhere else. All right, we're going to add just a little bit of a cap here, and since I like to sip my cocktails off the ice, I don't want it falling back on my nose. Perfect. All right, guys, now it's time to garnish. We're going to garnish per usual with some of these incredible mint sprigs that I grow in my backyard. And I know what some of you guys think that watch the channel religiously. You're thinking, man, are we going to put a mint garnish on every single one of these cocktails? And the answer is yes, at least for now, because most tiki cocktails do call for a mint garnish. And while it's summer, I want to do tiki. And second off, mint is about to be out of season. Once August hits, it's probably going to burn up all of my mint, and I won't have near as big a supply. And also, when winter rolls around, it freezes the mint usually, and I just can't use it. So we only got another good month left before we run out of mint. All right, guys, let's go ahead and express our mint leaves, get them nice and fragrant, and then we're going to put it down into our cocktail just like that. All right, perfect. Now we're not done yet. We actually have one last little thing we're gonna do. This is the first time I've done this on the channel. I'm actually going to be using Bittercube Jamaican No.2 bitters. Now I'm not gonna float this over the drink. Watch what I do here. I learned this technique from Toby Maloney's Bartender's Manifesto, which I think is like the mixology Bible. And what he does is he takes a cocktail dropper, which is what we're about to do, and I'm gonna put 2 to 3 drops right on my mint leaves, just like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna express the mint once again and really rub those bitters into the leaves of the mint. And essentially what's happening here is that we're not only using the mint as a structure to hold the bitters, we're also using the fragrant oils of that mint as a diffuser of sorts to really elevate the fragrance of those Jamaican bitters. And by the way, these Jamaican No.2 bitters are full of baking spice notes and grapefruit notes, which I thought would pair perfect with this cocktail since we have grapefruit and tiki spices in the body of the cocktail. All right, that's it, guys. The Rainforest Grog, my first original cocktail on the channel. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. All right, I'm going to express those mint leaves yet again. I'm gonna smell it real quick. So that smells absolutely incredible. So once again, the mint leaves are really elevating the fragrance of those bitters. So I'm getting a real big, aromatic mint hit, but I'm also getting a subtle baking spice and grapefruit notes as well from those bitters. So always remember that technique, guys. It's really a really cool one, putting bitters on your mint sprigs. All right, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Here we go. So of course I'm going to think my own creation tastes good because I designed it specifically, of course, for my palate. But I also designed this to be the rainforest in a glass, and I think that I've accomplished that here. So first off, I'm getting some complex yet somewhat loud grassy agricole notes, just like I wanted. The age and complexity of the Rum JM V.O is really showing through, as well as the age and complexity and the Jamaican funk from the Dennison's Merchant Reserve. And of course, I'm getting that nice, heavy, grassy kick from the barrel-aged cachaça. So some of those more intense ethanol and grassy notes are actually rounded out by both the Donn spices and the rich honey syrup. The Donn Spices No.2 just adds a further amount of complexity and body to the cocktail while adding a lot of tropical spice. And of course, all this is rounded out by the tart citrus notes from our fresh lime and grapefruit juices. All right guys, that's it. The Rainforest Grog, my first original cocktail on the channel. I spent a lot of time workshopping this, so hopefully you guys really enjoy. And as always, if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content in the future, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you could, please leave a comment. That really helps me out. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. My name is Patrick Bacon, and I will see you guys next time.